everybody, and welcome to a new edition of the Broulis Beat Report. I am your host, Nick Broulis. This edition of the Broulis Beat Report is brought to you, as always, by Cafe 80s. If you're a person that loves 80s music, and especially live 80s music, please feel free to search for them on Facebook simply by typing in The Cafe 80s, or you can visit them on their actual website at thecafe80s.net. And for those of you that have the Bands in Town app, and if you don't already have it, you really should download the Bands in Town app. You can follow them just by simply typing in Cafe 80s, and they will actually send you notifications as to when they will be at a venue near you. I would highly recommend it. Well, it's the weekend, and you know what that means. It is divisional playoff football for the NFL. Now, I know that the last Broulis Beat Report, I gave you my picks, but I can't remember exactly who I picked, to be honest with you. So, in the meantime, I think I've actually might have had a change of heart on two of the picks, but I'm not sure. But I also wanted to check out NFL.com before I came on air with you here to see if there was any player injury updates, things like that, because that does have a big impact on who I pick. So without further ado, here we go. Let's start out with the Saturday games. Now, the first game of the day is Seattle at Atlanta with a kickoff time of 4:35. Of course, the game is in Atlanta. Now, I think I said on my last Broulis Beat Report that I was going with Atlanta, and I had, 3 or 4 days in between the last time I came with you and now. I thought about it really hard, and I realized that Seattle has a really good defense. Their offense is, Then you go on the other side of the ball, and you look at Atlanta's offense, and then you look at their defense, and it's kind of like, So, something's got to give. Now, here's my thing. I don't think that Seattle has really played a team that has the offensive firepower that Atlanta does. And just being at home gives the Atlanta Falcons, I almost said the Atlanta Hawks, the Atlanta Falcons a little bit of an edge to me. Now, I thought about it, I'm thinking, okay, which way are you going to go, Nick? Is this going to be a coin flip game or not? No. I'm actually going to go with the Atlanta Falcons to advance to the NFC Championship game because I think that their offense is going to do just enough to get them over the hump and into the NFC Championship game. But I think it's going to be a really close game. Now, the late game, the prime time game, which I don't know why they have this as the prime time game. If you ask me, the Seattle-Atlanta game should be in prime time. The Houston-New England game should be in the 4:35 time slot. But instead, they're starting the game at 8:15. No doubt in my mind, the New England Patriots are going to absolutely roll the Houston Texans, in my opinion. I predict that this game is going to be over no later than the third quarter. I would be shocked if this is a close game. I would be even more shocked if Houston can pull off the upset. Now, moving to the Sunday games, which will be the best set of games, in my opinion, you have the Green Bay Packers visiting the Dallas Cowboys at 4:40. Now, here's the big thing. This was going to be a coin flip game to me if both teams were fully healthy. Because as you know, I think the Packers have won like 5 or 6 in a row, and Dallas, of course, has been Dallas this year. But here's the thing. As I told you earlier in the show, I went on NFL.com, I checked the injury reports and whatnot. Jordy Nelson, the Packers wide receiver, is ruled out for this game. Therefore, that simplifies my choice. I am going to go with the Dallas Cowboys to advance to the NFC Championship game. Now, moving to the later game. It could be one of the better games of the weekend. Now, note, Pittsburgh at Kansas City. This game was actually supposed to be played earlier Sunday, okay? But because of the ice storm that is moving through the area, the Kansas City area, they actually put the game at a later time slot due to fan safety, which I really think was a smart idea on their part. Kickoff time is now 8:20. And let me put it this way. I do remember that I took the Pittsburgh Steelers in my last Broulis Beat Report. And I'm actually going to stick with that. Why? Because I don't think that Kansas City is going to be able to slow down the Pittsburgh offense enough. Now here's the thing, and I've been saying this all year with the Pittsburgh Steelers. As long as their defense even plays half as good as what their offense plays, they should be able to win most of their games. So, obviously, I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers to get a big win on the road, and that sets up the AFC Championship game between the Pittsburgh Steelers visiting the New England Patriots. Now, some other news and notes about the NFL on the side. If you haven't heard by now, the San Diego Chargers will now be moving to Los Angeles starting next season, the 2017 season, and they have hired former Bills offensive coordinator Anthony Lynn as their head coach. Me personally, I think this is a very, very bad move for the Chargers. Number one, their owner is very lazy in terms of his financial preparation, if you will. I know the county and the city over and down there in San Diego were definitely willing to work with the Chargers owner, who I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now, but I was told and I heard various reports that he refused to put in his fair share of financial aid to keep the Chargers in San Diego. I just think it's a really bad move. Now, just to clear this up, this has nothing to do with their fans, and kind of in a way, there's not that much distance in between San Diego and Los Angeles. So those fans will only have to travel, I think it's like an hour or two, rough estimated guess. I think that's how far of a distance there is between Los Angeles and San Diego. So it's not like when Cleveland moved to Baltimore and there was 6 hours in between the two cities, okay? So most of those fans will actually still be able to go to the Chargers games and then drive back down to San Diego. So it's not like that. My other big problem with that is this. The Los Angeles sports fan. It is a Dodgers-Lakers town. Okay? And if the football teams are not winning, they're not going to show up and support them like they would the Dodgers and the Lakers. That's my problem with that. Now, on another coaching front, Bills have hired Sean McDermott as their new head coach. So hopefully they'll get things going in the right direction. I know that they've been kind of mediocre over the last several seasons up there in Buffalo. So that does it for this edition of the Broulis Beat Report. My name is Nick Broulis. I do thank you for taking this time to watch the Broulis Beat Report. Have a great football weekend, everyone.